So, part 2 of Origin Session 2. Again, it is 28th of May. And all the same people are kind of still here, so on we go. So everybody's voted. And it seems like the majority want them to go. So, you just can now RP that.
I think it's going to be easier if they leave. If we're ever trying to plan something or go somewhere or figuring how to deal with a situation, it's either they tell us exactly what to do or we're going to be bickering, most likely.
Well, I mean, at the cost of actually having command of my own ship, I can understand why everybody would want them to go, so, I mean, it has to be done, I guess. But just rest assured that this will make this journey quite a bit harder from now on.
Well, it depends on what we put ourselves into.
Well, my dear Nathaniel, sometimes we may not have such a choice.
We can minimize the damage where possible, I guess.
We can defend the ship.
More armor on the bow, yeah. It's a great idea, Nathan!
He's doing it again. And I mean, I'm just going to say, we have no money for more armor on the bow.
Where's this affair? Is this affair? Yeah.
There is no vills or vase.
Well, there's a well you've got to pay.
Why you're speaking so strange in the sad. Like,
I must have hurt my head as well, Professor.
it's not very nice, is it?
Not
Wait,
at
you
all.
got hurt too?
Why
Why is everyone in this ship injured?
My eyes scream at Ash.
She doesn't understand that. No, she does. But at the same time, she wasn't actually being, like, sarcastic. She genuinely was like, oh shit, people are hurt. What is going on?
Hence why my eyes screamed at you.
She just looks confused at you then. She's like,
The
oh.
screaming eyes.
Okay, I'll just put my hand on her shoulder and go, I'll explain later. We're all fine.
Okay.
I must caution if we are to be rid of the knights. Is there any guarantee then that we will not still be indebted to your king? Professor, were assurances not made for the funding rather than the knights?
Yes, that is correct, yes, but I mean, the plan was for me to pay them when we got back. Hopefully, I mean, the king he only cares about the money and the fame, really. If you just kind of stamp his name on it, he'll pat himself on the back, and you know, they do things like that in the elf place, right? Yes?
Will your king be upset with you? Will you have to face consequences for this?
Stephen, you're
Specifically
breathing.
from the king, aside from being in more danger.
The Horned One is asking much the questions I was asking, but in a less veiled manner. He says that in sort of a nodding, pleasant way.
When you say horned, Ash kind of puts her hands up and sort of faintly touches like one of her stumps. Just like, oh, I don't have horns. But she doesn't say anything.
You have more horns than the rest of us.
Well, that's true.
You say that.
Yeah.
You see, he's not
Few
going
of
to
us
be
have a
very
human
happy
horn.
about it. I mean, he's not going to be very happy about it. I mean, so it's between having eyes and ears on the ship directly and hearing about the journeys through whatever means he plans on keeping in touch. He's not going to be happy. I'm not going to lie, but
Stephen, you're purring. Oh my god.
But I mean, if, like I said, if the crew wants him to go, then they go. My allegiance is to this ship and to the crew, not to the king.
You should probably go and tell them then.
Yes.
I would
probably
avoid
right.
using phrases like "my allegiance is not to the king."
Yes, I thought about these things.
Perhaps
can't help but
Victoria
speak to
should
my
go
friends.
with you, Ludvig.
I've also just realised I've just had myself muted on my mic, and you haven't been able to hear anything I've been saying.
Not a thing.
No. I just kind of clear my throat slightly and go, does anyone else remember us almost being burned out of the sky? Because I remember that.
We're still here, aren't we?
I'm with Ash on that one.
Yes, I mean,
You almost were Ash on that one.
yeah, it's barely.
Well, are people changing their minds?
No, the people actually stating their points. The people did actually say stay. And Ash was kind of always go, but on the fence.
I went for stay at the end up just because I think he would sort of see it as a case of, you know, we're going to be sort of observed in some manner, and I would rather have the extra hands on deck. Not that he's particularly eager for, you know, this specific type of assistance, but I think it's a case of pragmatism on Attanor's part, where he's maybe quite eager to keep an eye on them as well.
Plus, we could always use more hands on deck.
He's not going to be too vocal an opponent of chucking them off, though. Like he'll go
You
along
really
with
think
that.
the cook wants that many hands on her?
How dare you?
I don't know why I said her.
Neither do we.
The cook is terribly offended.
So am I.
Okay.
Well then, what's happening now?
Well, Vittoria, shall we go speak to the good commander and tell us the good news?
I love how the two people who voted stay need to tell them to go. That seems wrong somehow, doesn't it?
Oh, that's leadership for you.
Yeah, that's needs must.
I think that Z would probably bend down to
be
pick up
fair,
the chair again.
You two being the ones that are going, you can literally just tell them they can stay.
Not do that.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't do that. No. I mean, it could.
Yeah.
I think I get the feeling that I'm going to spend a large portion of this RP just being slightly resigned.
And we wouldn't have you any other way.
I know.
I think a lot of us have experienced that previously.
Including maybe some beige.
Lots of beige all round.
Beige on free. So, you get to the top deck, Vittoria and Ludvig. Are you going to have a wee conversation as you walk up from the lower deck to the top deck, perhaps in private? Or as private as the ship gets?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
But like, it's such a shame we cannot keep them around. So they are very bossy, you know. Probably wouldn't have much control of the ship anyway. Yes.
I mean, you do realize that in doing this, you will quite likely torpedo your entire reputation, and you would need to bring back a lot to the court to actually be in any standing in future.
Quite frankly, Vittoria, I would have told Vittoria about the signal. I'm pretty sure I said that I would have told her, probably tell her. But yeah, as quite frankly, Vittoria, if the signal leads to something as marvelous as even a fraction of what Zhia is, then to hell with my reputation, quite frankly.
I think, Vivi doesn't quite get it. She really, really doesn't get it.
Are you used to seeing good returns instantly on certain things, right? When you go and trade, you go, I brought the thing
Yeah.
you need, you have the thing I want, let us switch and be better for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seems like Vivi doesn't like to gamble.
It's an investment.
I'm sorry, you cut out again and I didn't hear any of that.
It's an investment.
I think
Which is a
short
fun
sharp
example.
laugh. Short sharp laugh. And she just goes, I've never made any money on the stock market.
Ha! Yes, I tried that out a little bit myself. It's not very good, is it?
So I just kind of go, do you want to continue talking? Do the talking, or shall I?
Well, I feel like that would be putting you in a very difficult position. You know, I read the letter, I brought them aboard, I should kick them off.
Okay.
Just to resolve something that I did say, but I'm not sure if it was heard. I did say I was going to go pick up the chair, so I just guess Ludvig probably stood up and stopped from doing that.
Yeah, he probably just walked away with
Yeah.
Vittoria. Maybe you're probably
Probably
still
after
holding
that.
the chair, who knows?
No, I would have stopped if he got up. There's no point in holding a chair.
You say that now, but in the great chair holding competition,
Oh, and it's time. I'll pick up the mightiest of chairs.
right, so if you aren't going to say anything else to each other, you can get to the top deck. And as you climb out, you see the commander with her troops. You know, what little possessions they had carried are all kind of, slung over their shoulders and stuff, and they're all kind of standing, kind of lined up against the ramp that leads off the ship. But they're still on the ship, waiting, essentially. And she kind of, pivots as you come up and goes, have you made a decision?
Well, yes and yes.
She looks confused at the fact that you say, well, yes and yes, but then just kind of bears with it.
So, after further discussions with me and my crew, it seems that the majority have, how do I say this?
They've asked you to leave.
Yes.
I'm very sorry, Commander. I never wanted to waste your time.
Oh no. I serve at the pleasure of the king. My time could never be wasted. She nods to you and then walks up to Ludvig and puts her hand out.
I will say, is this like a formal thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
As you reach out with your hand, she grabs you kind of by the forearm and then kind of shakes very kind of briskly. You know, that very kind of one kind of solid shake, and goes, good luck on your voyage. I wish you well.
I will clasp her hand with my other hand. I'm like, yes, it was a pleasure to meet you, and please do give your highness my regards, yes? I'll keep in touch, yes?
She kind of smirks at it and goes, our highness, yes.
Yes, your highness, yes.
I think I just give the salute of the Empire, just bow my head slightly.
I'll do the same.
She about turns, snaps her fingers, and all of the troops kind of vacate and leave the dock. As does she. You have successfully made a group decision.
A bad group decision.
Let's note it
probably.
here. The knights were dismissed.
That's written on stone, so we know who to blame when everything explodes.
Well,
Only Carlotta
Well-
is currently unblamable for
I'm sorry.
botanist.
For now.
But I didn't want them to leave.
Yeah, but what if they'd stayed and something bad had happened anyway?
They could have helped fix it.
What if they all died?
Then
But
that's
spot on fire.
that's 10 people that didn't die from
Or-
the crew.
What if they all stayed in the ship and killed us in our sleep?
To be fair,
What if they'd been
is that
ordered
likely
do
to happen considering some of you don't sleep?
Mm.
So only 90% of you could die that way. Thank you very much, Ash.
Do we even know how Zhia dies?
No.
Like, can she?
Yes.
It?
They.
Yes, sorry.
Huh?
Zhia is a mystery unto Zhia.
It's a good question, one that Zia doesn't want to test.
Yeah. Zhia knows that Zhia hasn't died yet,
Uh-huh.
and that's good enough. Zhia likes it that way, I believe. Okay, cool.
Good for Zhia.
Right. What are you doing on top deck now?
So I'll kind of, after she leaves, the entourage leaves, I'll be like, I've heard that went better than expected, I guess.
I think I step up to Ludvig, and I guess I just start straightening his clothes slightly in a slightly
Mothering way?
kind of, but more also kind of exasperated and like feeling really fiddly because I've just got too much energy because I'm worried.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah, we're in a worried sort of way, absent-mindedly, and I just go. I think I'm straightening his collar, and I go, "This is probably gonna get us killed."
Well,
Because if it doesn't get us killed by some pirates, we are going to encounter back to the court, and we're probably gonna get hung.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I gathered that something really bad happened before I arrived, because they were quite mad.
Yes, they weren't very pleased, were they?
Did you almost commit treason?
Define treason.
We discussed this already.
Well, I mean, you know how it is. I don't. Brought up in nobility and fed up with all the pompous, kingly people.
You don't commit treason again accidentally.
Yes.
Again!
I must learn to watch my tongue.
I think at that point I just walk off.
Well, I guess time to get to work. We kind of walk up to the talk tubes.
The talkie cue.
Talkie pipe.
Pipes.
The talkie pipes.
The vibratio pipes, yeah.
The vibratio pipes. And I'll just kind of like, this is the professor speaking. I guess have left the premises. Back to work.
I think I'd
I
just
don't believe
stand
I have
up
a ship to take off.
in the mess hall and go, "You heard the professor. Get to your posts."
And then all the crew just scamper to their posts. Some just go back to their rooms because they're not on shift. And like the first mate, who will probably need a name at some point, that is not Smee.
Aww.
Smith.
Sue?
No. Although Sue is a great one. Sue. So there we go.
Boy named Sue.
First mate.
Graham.
Sue. No, not our Graham.
It's a good start, Graham.
First mate Sue comes up to you, Nathaniel, and says, now that the cargo's been loaded on, we should be good to go whenever, Captain.
Thanks, Snoo.
She goes to punch you, and then stops just kind of off your face as your eyes close and says, "It's Sue.
Oh, sorry.
We had an
Sue.
HR meeting about this."
We have a HR department.
Sorry, it's been a long day. There's been injuries. There's been almost light treason. I apologize, Sue.
I like to imagine the HR department is Vivi and Carlotta.
Just looking
Just-
angry.
Yeah.
She just kind of nods at you and goes, "See you on the bridge, Captain."
See you in the bridge, Sue.
And then, the crew go about to their business.
Now, did you say her name was Snoo at first?
No?
Right.
Fucking Snoo.
That's why I said Snoo. I thought you said her name was Snoo.
You should have totally just played that, Stephen. You shouldn't even admitted that. You should have just kept. You should have just took it
No,
straight.
but then otherwise, why would I say Snoo? It doesn't make any sense.
I thought it was like a
Nothing you
no
did
for
make
remembering the Ilya thing and stuff. I thought your character was just terrible with names or something.
No,
I thought you just accidentally said it. I didn't.
Yeah.
Big Snoo's terrible.
no, I
Yeah.
thought he said the name was Snoo, and then when I said it, I went, "That sounds like Snoo." I was like, "That's a horrible name. I don't like saying that." And then you're
To be
like,
fair,
"Sue?"
you made-
I was like, "How dare he set me up like that?"
You made the other, Futurama reference, I'll have you know.
I'm crying.
I honestly, that's the
Okay,
only reason I said.
Everyone
Snoo.
take
I
a minute, okay? Let's just have a minute to ourselves just now, okay? Oh.
Wow, I thought that was genuine. You too. Oh, no. I thought your character was terrible with names.
And can everyone
No.
prepare to take off? Because I'm pretty sure you are about to leave port.
I would-
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
would
head to the
probably-
bridge to initiate undocking procedures.
Ash
Probably.
goes.
Oh, where do you go? Sorry.
Ash goes back to Ilya's room, into the branches, starts sort of like communicating with her again, just to make sure everything's going smoothly, like as we're sort of
Checking the water
Taking off.
levels of the actual
Yeah.
room you're in.
asking her, "She's okay? You okay?"
There's no response.
Yeah.
Mostly just the thrum of power that comes
Mm.
from it most of the time. That kind of energy hum that only Kodakai can really pick up on.
Mm.
But yeah, so what's everybody doing? So I know that Stephen's off to the bridge, or should I say Nathaniel's off to the bridge. Where is everybody else? Because I think
Could
he's
I
all
watch?
kind of scattered throughout the like the mess hall and whatnot. So he's obviously chose where he's wanted to go.
Could I possibly catch Nathaniel walking to the bridge?
Yeah, I mean he does have to go up through the staircase to get there. So
I'll just kind of like, best makes this take off pretty quick before the good highness maybe changes his mind and decides to anchor us to the ground or something. Or could probably get pretty annoyed at this.
I think I'd chuckle and be like, with the speed that procession seems to move, I think we'd be there and back in this expedition before they do a U-turn.
I feel like Ludvig would chuckle at that as well. That's such a silly machine. I told them this should have made me build it, but stupid royal
Don't worry,
artisans.
I'll get us up and out of here in no time, and I'll proceed to the bridge.
cool. As Nathaniel's off to the bridge, is anybody doing anything else of note before we take off?
I actually want to. Sorry, I'm also aware like I don't hugely know everyone yet. But does Russell do something like electronic mechanical, or
Kind
does
of.
he just have a robot brother?
I mean, probably what Vivi knows is that the professor seems to have kept this child on board.
Yeah.
What you might, I guess it probably would. Like this is something I imagine the professor would have told everybody, which is, I found this child in the engine room and he fixed the dodgy engine, and everyone goes, wait, we had a dodgy engine? And I think that's
Yeah,
probably how
okay.
that went, because Russell is basically stowed away in like one of the engine rooms for the airship, and because it rattled, he fixed the rattle.
Because it was on his bed.
basically.
So I think I would go and find Russell. And just very kind of... So I'd go find Russell. And when I find him, I would just say really kind of a soft suggestion of, if you notice anything out of place, anything that might have been left behind,
Uh-huh.
do you want to let me know?
Well, I lost property?
I'm thinking more of something that might have been left by the knights.
Why would they leave stuff?
I mean, they may have forgotten it. They may want to know where we're going.
Huh?
They
I
may
don't
want to.
understand.
They may want to follow us.
I don't think we'll have any trouble following us. There's not that many airships and we don't move very fast.
Some people are known for showboating. We're known for slow boating.
And skyboating.
Yeah, I think I just clap Russell's shoulder and go, if you notice anything, just let me know.
Okay, baby.
Thanks, Russell.
Bye, baby.
What is Zhia and Attanor up to? Besides mud wrestling, of course.
Obviously.
Mud wrestling.
The ancient
Oh,
art
that's
of
on the
elf
lower
mud
deck.
wrestling.
In the water room.
Ooh, that's not their water.
That's disrespectful.
That is disrespectful.
We're giving
Hashtag
Ilya a
not my
show.
president.
And
Nothing
what a
but
show.
respect for my warship.
Water show.
Nah. We're showboating, the slow boating, and water showing.
I think Zhia probably go out to one of the, the lower deck, the little bits at the side there.
So, like, where the little kind of robot shuttle things are?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And probably just stand there.
Okay, cool.
Not much.
Okay.
We all live in a sea submarine.
I'm going to assume that you're going to stand at the other side that is not, like, looking at the wall of the dock.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there isn't that much to see where you are docked. It's quite a busy harbour.
Probably be looking out, over the city or something.
No, it's pretty much just looking out into other docked ships. Because it's kind
Okay.
of like, the harbour area, which is quite
Oh,
low
yeah.
down in the city. Because it's obviously where the sea comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I say obviously, but visuals. and all that.
Naturally.
Because you are still docked in water.
Yes,
the
this
moment.
is true. We're not in the sky yet.
No. It has made however they got on and off really interesting.
Uh,
What about Attanor then? What's he up to?
I think probably training.
Not mud
in
wrestling.
whatever capacity is possible within a ship.
I mean, yeah, you could have brought things with you, or you could have asked the professor to have knocked up something that you can smack your sword off of. Do you know what I mean? Or how those stands that have all the clothes pegs hanging out of them that you fight.
Yeah, that sort of thing. That would probably. I mean, I don't actually have a bow because I didn't have enough money for a bow, but I would like him at some point to be able to practice archery on the ship. That would probably be on the deck, though.
Okay, yeah.
Just wait until I get the mad scientist.
Yeah. But for now, yeah, sword training with a sort of hittable wood thing.
I mean, there's that, or there's Bertrand.
Bertrand?
Okay, so Ash is in the engine room, so to speak, Stephen's on the bridge, and by that I mean Nathaniel. Where's the professor going?
Fully after he spoke to Nathaniel, I was about to say Nathaniel, my normal voice. I after that, I'd be like, I think I need to go lie down. That's such a headache.
Who are you saying that to? Just Nathaniel?
Just Nathaniel. I was just kind of like say that as
Oh, right.
after I've done the whole asking him to.
I'd probably say yes, that's for the best. I'll try and make sure and assign someone to your door.
Yeah, I'd start waddling down towards my. I mean, I'm assuming my room is also my lab, or similar-esque things. So probably just start down towards that way.
It is, in fact, if you look at the roll 20, it's that front room. That's your room. Your lab is also here. Like, you can sleep in either.
You probably have a cot set up in your lab that you fall face first into sometimes.
At least a really comfy couch. Probably a couch.
But you have the best view, obviously, from the ship, really there.
Probably.
And your
If
room.
I'm taking off in the maiden voyage almost, I'd definitely go to my captain's quarters and probably just lie down.
Okay, dokes. Stephen, I don't know if you noticed or not, but your room is here.
Just off the bridge.
Yep. So, and your office is there, and there's doors that go into each room and a door between each room.
I have an office.
Yeah.
Woo!
Captain's office. There.
Yeah. It's almost like a ready room or something.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So is that where I get ready? Don't go in my office. I'm getting changed.
It's not the changing room. It's the ready room. You go there to be ready.
I am ready.
Oh. Yeah. I wasn't ready. Didn't come in.
Some horrible Wallace and Gromit style contraption as you walk through the door attacks you and puts clothes on you. Which we don't.
Big long coat.
And you just scream to him, "These are the wrong trousers."
These pants are too tight.
I imagine this is actually being created by Ludvig at one point to get him ready faster in the morning.
But in no
when
way,
people-
like he's invented it for himself, installs it in the space between my room and the ready room, but doesn't tell me. That bit slips his mind. You'll love it. It'll be fantastic. And I get up and I'm just like, oh my god!
I love the idea that he's installed it before you've seen it. So he's like, right, this is your room, and you go into your room, and then you walk through the door, and it puts more clothes on you. And like brushes your teeth and stuff, and you're like, what?
All you can hear on the bridge is.
If only these were things that happened. But in the alternate reality game where that did happen, that's hilarious.
Just wait until I get the mad scientist trait. I'll make you one, right? It'll be fine. I'll make you something.
Wait, hold on. Is this your normal science?
So, roll me some operating, Stephen, to get this thing off the ground.
Yay! You get to roll the thing. Oh god damn it! How have I got my character sheet open? Wait, actually, I've got it set in roll 20. I don't always usually just have it open as a PDF separately.
So let me set the difficulty.
I can just click the roll button on my skill, can't I?
You should be able to. I have set the difficulty
Right.
as a hard check, which is 3 purples. I don't think there's any setbacks to this because
Why is it hard?
because you're trying to get a boat in the sky.
Oh god.
That's why.
Let's hope for a graceful takeoff.
Someone's put in a setback for some reason. Let's get rid of that.
Let's
Right, well then.
definitely get rid of that.
Just gonna check.
Is that what noise the boat makes?
That's this thing. That's him trying to get like, the ripcord started.
Because I want to double check what my knack for it does. Hold on. Because I can't remember what that gives me.
Keep in mind, guys, this isn't necessarily a single man effort.
There we go. There it is.
I was gonna ask, do we get like dice for the actual crew members doing stuff?
Oh damn it! I just
Is
removed
their
setback
job to
dice.
help out, is it? No.
It's their job narratively to support the fact that there's only 10 of you.
Then
Right.
support us.
I'll
like
just
how-
roll because
You know how
there's
the
no set-
Enterprise, like, you know, the Enterprise D that Picard was on had like 1,000 crew, but you never ever seen 1,000 people at once. It's like that.
Does anyone wait? Hold on, we've not done story points. Did we do story points?
Oh no, they are auto done
Right.
because the numbers don't
Suppose you
change.
use one.
As I say, would the people be okay if I use a story point?
I was going to suggest it, to be honest.
Actually,
Yeah,
we are one
I-
down. Sorry, aren't we? We are one down.
Yeah.
So you
Mhm.
right. So bam, done that. Force player update. Good. There we go. I've updated it. So there's 7 of you.
So I'll just click use player story point, I guess.
Yep. To do what?
I'm going to upgrade one of my greens to a yellow.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I do that, right, I'll
What
just do it
pool are you
manually.
working with at the moment?
What do you mean? Sorry, I'm working with a yellow and 2 greens.
Okay. Cool. And that's before the upgrade.
Yes.
Cool.
So it's 2 yellow and a green.
We're the same operating buddies.
Okay. So you don't quite get it started.
Oh.
So that is just to advantage, is it?
Yep.
I
I'm
mean,
glad I upgraded.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the second time's a charm because you're getting bonuses.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking of. That, like, I'm like, ah, that didn't work. What didn't work about that? And try it again, but with a bonus die.
Now I think at this point what happens is obviously the engines obviously spool up and spin up, and then for some reason do that thing where, you know, everybody's favourite Millennium Falcon does that. Yeah, exactly. So you might want to investigate what didn't work before just assuming you can do the same thing again. Because keep in mind, guys, I don't intend to just let you roll your way to success by repeating the same check again and again. I want you to narratively change things and then go back at it.
I honestly thought that
Captain.
one would be slightly different because I didn't fail.
Yeah,
It
so
just
You
didn't
did
work.
fail because
it.
you have no uncancelled successes. That is a fail.
Right. Okay.
Captain, I can help if you need.
You were going to be my first port of call, buddy. Could you inspect some of the engines? Because Ludvig's out for the count, I think.
I feel like as you say that, you're probably here over the I forgot the name of the pipe again.
The vibrodio.
Just call him something. Just call
The
him whatever
talking
comes to your head.
The vibrodio pipes.
The vibrodio pipes. Right, I need to remember this now.
No, you don't.
Me too.
Oh,
Actually,
good.
I'm just gonna write vibrodio pipes in the chat so I remember it next week.
I tried this as before you rolled as well, but you can use my intellect to create your dice pool if I aid you.
All right. Okay.
It's an alternative to just adding a blue. Like I've got 4 intellect, so you would get 4 dice and then use your skill in it.
How does it work?
Oh.
Sorry.
We always did it in ours is just adding a blue when somebody aids you, but there's another way to do it where you use someone's skill in it and your stat, or vice versa.
How is
So-
that? Where is this written?
I hope it's in this as well, but I'm not sure where it is in this
It's
book.
not in
but
this unless I can read it. I don't know where that is, but it would be what? Aiding? Would it be like?
Yeah, assisting or aiding something.
There'd be one in it.
Um,
Look that up.
something I probably would do anyway with that is contact. Well, obviously we've already got Russell. I'd contact Ash as well. Just. Oh god, she's gonna come up. I'll activate the pipes of communication, and say down them. We just failed to take off. I have Russell inspecting the mechanical components of the engine. Could you please check Ilya and see if there's anything needed? We need to be off post haste.
Ash she wouldn't reply. She would, the first thing she'd do is, like, sort of put her hand to the trunk of Ilya, close her eyes, and try to figure out if there's anything going wrong there. And if, as I assume is the case, I hope is the case, if there's nothing she can sort of sense that's wrong, she would just sort of climb out the tree.
Do you need to roll tree sense or something?
I don't know. I don't know. That's up to Ryan. But if there was nothing wrong with the tree, then I'd just sort of jump out of it and run up to the bridge.
Right, you give me some kind of perception check then.
Sure. It's my first roll. How exciting!
Also, guys,
so-
remember and write in what your rolls are for. What are you doing with your results, Stephen?
Like, can I assist probably Russell in his investigation in terms of going over my takeoff procedure, going, look, this didn't work at this point, perhaps it could be this part of the engine that's causing some problems?
Yeah, basically just kind of ruling out stuff you know isn't the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
just to kind of narrow his focus a bit.
Okay.
I believe that'll give Russell a boost die to whatever he's doing next.
Rolling perception.
Just before you do that, Allan is right.
Where is it?
At page 26, when a character with a higher characteristic or skill rating provides assistance to another character, the dice pool may use one character's characteristic and the other character's skill rating.
Assisted checks. There we go. So
That's for skilled assistance.
assistants work best when the assisting party brings.
It's if you're unskilled, it's a blue.
When a character with a higher characteristic or skill rating provides assistance to another character, the dice pool may use one characteristic and the other's skill rating. If the assisting party does not have a higher characteristic or skill rating, so that using either rating would provide no benefit, your GM may blah blah blah. Cool. What's your operating rank again, Gib?
It wouldn't be that, it would be the intellect, it would be admin.
I'm asking.
I don't have any operating.
Then I don't think you can be the one leading that.
Yeah, then it would just be a blue.
Say that.
It does, like, when you have to be skilled.
It's called skilled
Was
assistance.
when a character,
Actually, it just says when a character with a higher characteristic or skill rating.
Don't see how someone who actually has no operational knowledge could be in this, so I'm gonna say no.
I think it's clarified under the names of each section, Gib, because one description is for skilled assistance. So if you have like a skill that same as what I'm doing, you'd follow that rule. With unskilled assistance, it'd just be the blue.
I'd say that if you both had operating, for example, like the way we've got Ludvig and Nathaniel, but Ludvig's intellect was higher than Nathaniel's, then yeah, he could take charge on that instead of it being the blue. But obviously someone like Stephen's more skilled in operating. Yeah, I don't mind if Ludvig has the intelligence for that, guiding the skill specifically to the operating, but I just don't see how narratively the 15-year-old kid with no knowledge of how to operate the airship can guide the captain of the airship.
From a mechanics point of view in the game, it also doesn't work like that anyway.
How so?
Because it's skilled assistance, because he doesn't have any operating. He couldn't use it. Like, he has to have a skill in...
It just says if you've got a higher characteristic.
But it's under
There's
skilled
dimension
assistance.
kappa. Yeah, but that's just the title of it, surely.
Yeah, if it doesn't
but then-
define what it means by skilled assistance.
But then why is there an
Shoddy
unskilled
wording.
assistance?
That's because if you're both equal,
Hmm.
it says that in the paragraph.
I feel like I stand by my ruling on it purely because it makes sense.
So between me and you, it would be unskilled assistance because we match and operate. Like, so
But do we match in intelligence and stuff like that?
should do. I mean, we're the same greens and blues, yellows.
Yeah,
So.
then we must do.
Like, does anyone else kind of see why I'm saying that? I don't see why Russell can do that.
I can understand it. I can understand it.
Well, not if he's got much higher intelligence than me, then if he has a better knowledge of the mechanical working of the ship, is that not where it comes from?
But
Like that's
oper-
where he would.
It doesn't work that way. It'd be the difference of him trying to fix something mechanically, because he actually has skill in mechanics. If you were both trying to mechanically fix it, I can buy this. But he doesn't. He cannot fly the ship that way. Do you see what I mean? So.
Yeah,
no-
but he's using
Not
his
that I'd be
intelligence
flying, I'd be
to
helping him fly it. I'd be
offset
advising
my
him.
flying. That's why he would be using my operations with his intelligence characteristic. Because he'd be using perhaps his intelligence of how the ship works. And again, like it's just exactly the same way you described using Ludvig's intelligence, but my skill at actually flying.
No. It still needs to have, from the way I read skilled assistance, I still get the impression you'd need to have the attribute and the skill being the same as what you're comparing. So it doesn't matter whose is higher, in terms of, obviously you want to use the higher intelligence of Russell with the skill of Stephen, but he still has to have the skill to even qualify for the check, is how I see that. And the way I read it still feels that way.
I need to go for 2 seconds, guys.
Yeah, no worries. So, either way, you need to have the skill for the task you're trying to do, in my opinion, for that to get skilled assistance. And unskilled assistance will be the default if you don't.
Okay.
And I think that's fair, because narratively, I don't see how you can give skilled assistance to someone just by being intelligent. It's different for Gib had he kept his original kind of species loadout, which was the intellectual. He could have used his once per game move, or his once per session move, sorry, but he got rid of that and became a normal human.
Normal human.
Normal human.
Not a man.
I guess I'll just wait and see what his search and Ash's perception picks up.
And it costs
Well,
2 to
for
boost his next check, isn't it? For the advantage.
Where's my wee cheat sheet?
I really need one of those set up, quite frankly.
It's in the RP chat. But one of the last images we sent, I think, or I linked to it. Did I link it? I think I linked it.
Where is this? In origin text?
Yeah. It'll be before. Actually, it'll be quite far back now. I forget how much we talk.
Yes. Anyone else trying to do anything in the meantime, considering you've definitely felt the ship shudder?
Do you want me to roll my perception just yet, or you want me to wait?
What are you rolling? Talk me through it.
I'm not really sure. Never rolled in this game, but is it just the perception? Or
Well, it's a perception check, so talk me through what you think and I'll talk you through it.
well, I've got the button next to perception that has a dice on it.
Yep.
Is that what I press?
So it's an average check that I'm putting in for you.
Okay.
So unless you're modifying that in any way, you just push the perception button.
Nah. I'll just stick it in.
You're gonna disregard that and type what you want to do first, remember?
Alright, okay, it's just Stephen put his underneath, so...
Yeah, because I meant to tell everybody to do that beforehand. So
Okay, so just disregard that roll then.
I want everybody to type what you're doing and then hit
Alright.
your dice rolls. Also, Stephen, I don't see this in origin text.
I know I definitely shared it because I said I shared, like, I linked Calum to it, saying this would be very useful for you.
Mm.
Because I think you even replied to it, but
You
like I
did.
can't see either. But I know I sent it. That's the weird thing. Oh, here. No.
Clark, how's your audio working out for you now?
It's better now, thanks.
No worries. I don't know if anyone else is having the same issues you were, but I could hear everybody fine, so...
Right. Rolling.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Ah, there it is.
So, in terms of your perception check, you don't really get much in the sense of there's no concern. Like, nothing's wrong. Like, there's nothing out of place.
Mm.
Nothing looks weird. No branches are broken. Nothing's burnt. Nothing's, like, starved of water. You know, none of the usual checks. Nothing's out of place.
Okay.
But talk me through what your threat is. Because you have two of it there.
Yep. I have no idea.
Keep in mind, this doesn't need to be a solo discussion. This can be everyday.
Yeah.
Falling out the tree.
Hmm. I don't really see that because it's a perception check. And, like...
Yeah, the first time you're doing something that's high stress and pressurized environment, I think a lapse in concentration of your balance might be pretty decent
Maybe,
a reason.
Maybe just the fact that, like, it was, you took a lot, well, you took strain through, like, panicking, thinking that something was wrong with the tree when there really wasn't. Like, so you put yourself through more stress than necessary.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense than falling out of the tree because, as I said, it's to me that's a perception check rather than an agility thing. But
Keep in mind though how you interpret your character's reactions within that. There is scope to have had things like I wouldn't personally say it was you falling out the tree. I was going to go down the panic route myself for suggestions.
Yeah, like I think the idea that maybe she's felt the ship shudder, and then like Nathaniel's sort of talked at her through the talkie pipe, and gone, oh, you know, we failed to take off. Like, what's going on? Is this to do with the tree? And she's obviously went, oh shit, what if it's to do with the tree? Like, because obviously she is quite attached to Ilya. So I could see maybe taking strain because she's panicked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark up your
I'll
strain.
take some. I shall do that. And then, obviously, like, noticing there's not really anything wrong with Ilya, she'd sort of run up to the bridge and approach Nathaniel and just go, I don't think there's anything wrong with Ilya. She seems fine. Is everything alright up here?
I'm not sure. That's why I wanted to rule out if it was Ilya or not. Is it possible you could check her routes throughout parts of the ship, or would you be able to tell just from Ilya if everything was okay?
Well, I think I'd know. I think I'd know if something like that was wrong.
Nathaniel will literally take that as fact. Like, he'll be like, okay, like, I trust your judgment. We should hopefully be leaving soon, though, so you're probably best back down in her room. Thank you for letting me know.
No problem. Anytime. And then she just sort of run off. Back down to the tree room.
I'm gonna need to find some way that stops her having to run up and down stairs all the time. Can't have the chief tree in the ear, constantly tired. Everything's Okay.
She's quite fit. Like, she climbs trees.
Yeah,
so-
but what if we're in the middle of a fight and you're just constantly running up? Oh, there's a bit of a fire.
I think in that situation she
The
would.
fire's a bit stopped.
As I said, like, she just doesn't like using the pipe, so she doesn't feel like she has to. She prefers face-to-face conversation. But if it was a situation like that, then yeah, she'd use them. It wouldn't be an issue.
So, what's next?
Right, so is this ship entirely plummeled off the tree, or is it like any normal fuel or whatever?
Yeah,
So,
like you do have, you know, remember I told you like the ship has enough to kind of like essentially land itself fairly safe.
yeah.
Based on its own kind of, I don't know, remember we discussed it as science Tesla power, you know,
Mhm.
nonsense.
Can we just sail her out?
So,
I'll probably okay. I'll activate the tubes of chatter and
tubular chatter.
inform everyone that we'll be leaving by sea until we're fully sure that all of the airship components are in fully working order. And then start the procedure for sailing out. Do I still use operations for that?
Yep.
Okay.
Easy check.
As I say, how difficult is this check?
This one's a 2 purple.
2 purple.
It's an average check.
You got this. You got this.
Oh wait, what happened there?
Wow.
Ignore that.
Nah, ignore that. Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
an
done.
extra yellow.
I know. Yeah, it's still got the manual dice pool I created before.
It's also a dice up.
Right. And I still apparently didn't get a success anyway. What the- let's hope this one goes better. Go.
Oh. Oh.
That's an amazing. Well done.
Yeah.
That is an
Yes.
amazing.
Isn't
Really
Triumph the
triumphantly
fact.
on top.
isn't the
I am
second
Steve
yellow
Rogers.
because you upgraded?
Why
Yes,
is there? Hold
it
on. Why
was.
is there 2
So
yellows?
that's incorrect also.
Why is there 2 yellows? There's nothing on my dice pool that why that should be upgraded.
Hit the 2 arrows to clear your dice pool. And then build your pool again.
Right.
So
We should
let's
just
ignore
read
those
it.
as well.
There we go.
Better.
Yay!
So we're going to ignore those all. Ignore above. There we go. Just talk me through it.
I crashed the ship into the side of the dock.
No, but you can, I mean, you've got advantage here, still. There's now 3 to spend.
Oh my god.
I don't remember the dice being so hard on them. Oh, they're so harsh.
So I think as he starts to sail away, you just hear the horrible groan and tug of the ship just kind of, I guess, pull against the anchor.
Ash has such a concern.
I feel like at this point you would hear like just for the talkie pipe. Nathaniel?
Yep.
Nathaniel?
Yep.
Have you having problems?
Yep.
Did you leave the anchor?
I mean, Told everyone we were leaving by sea. I don't do everything from here.
Have you left the inertial dampener on?
And have you checked the fuel lines?
I did none of that.
I'll
Told it to go.
I'll go lie back down now. Tell good Russell to check the fuel lines. Yes.
Yep.
Good. Good luck.
I take it the
Please.
anchor is operated by the top deck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I've been standing at the landing strip. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there or the other side, whatever one it was. I'd probably see the anchor. And realise that we've tried to take off twice and like, okay.
Well, if I take off once and the ship didn't move other than shudder, and then it tried to sail forward and just got tugged against the anchor. So as you're at that kind of like the boat, you've probably almost fell into said boat that hangs at the side of the landing strip.
I think I'd head up the stairs to the top deck to go and fix the anchor problem. If said anchor problem hasn't been fixed by the time I've got there.
It probably definitely hasn't been by the time you get there, so... And I mean, unless somebody else is going for it, yeah.
And I guess Zhia starts fixing the anchor problem, starts pulling it up.
Bro, that thing.
No, that's easy enough for Zhia to do. Let's say...
I think Vivi is down in the cargo hold checking things off on a clipboard. And she feels the shudder, and she just looks up, and her face just says, "I have a concern."
Especially since half the things have moved in the cargo hold, which is not...
Yeah.
It's like everything is now half a meter forward.
Yeah.
What are they doing now?
Yeah. And then she just goes back to continue checking.
I'm just going to my ready room until everyone's checked everything.
I think
I
I'd
was
be,
supposed to do this.
sort of maybe stuff the ship shuddering knocked a few things over. I'd be sort of preemptively putting things away so that if it happens again, more stuff doesn't fall.
Whereabouts are you, sorry, when you're doing this?
Well, I'm not sure exactly where I would have been training. I don't think I ever decided explicitly. So
probably space in the
where do
cargo
you
hold.
think that would have been? Cargo hold?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like the perfect place to start fixing stuff and put.
Yep. Maybe it's because it's in period where you were training as well. You know? Colin?
Yeah,
good.
I think that's probably about the most useful he could be as far as getting a ship moving goes.
Good.
I've been in this situation, Colin, don't worry.
Zhia would head back from the top deck towards the bridge to inform that the anchor has now been lifted. So it opened the bridge door, I guess, or the glass partition. I just walk through the glass partition. No, and just say to whoever is there, the anchor is lifted, and turn around and walk away again, back to where the anchor was.
Okay. Is the captain replying at all, or...?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear what he said.
Zhia had gone to the bridge and pretty much just informed anyone that was there that the anchor has been lifted, and went back to the anchor.
I'm in my ready room.
Sounds very captainy.
I've been ready rope.
So I wouldn't reply.
Why are you in your ready room?
Did no one hear me say I went to my ready
No.
room once it...
I did, but
I didn't.
I did.
Mhm.
I was confused by it.
Yeah.
I went to go sit there while everyone checked over to see why the ship wouldn't fly, because I'm not taking her out until everything's
Have you
checked.
issued commands though?
I did that before we even set sail.
Maybe you
Like-
might want to issue again. maybe your crew are a bit rusty or something.
Like
They
Gibbs
check
meant
the
to be
first time.
inspecting the engines and everything.
Gibbons Africa.
I say we'll be back in 2 minutes, and that was, I don't know, more minutes
A
ago.
while ago.
I don't know if Gib returned to us.
15. Okay. I'll. Nathaniel? Nathaniel?
Yep.
How are things going in the engine room?
I don't know. Ask the engine room.
Oh, flabbergans. Just hear like rustle and probably a door slam in the background.
Oh, we're all used to
I'll-
that.
I'll stagger towards the engine room.
Okay, yeah. So that is the next deck up. But yeah.
Deck up and down the hall.
So obviously got an engine room to either side, and then you've obviously got the tree room at the back.
So, go into the engine room and start fiddling about with the fuel lines and stuff, seeing if they're all emptied.
Are you trying to calibrate the fuel intake?
Oh god.
Yes, that's exactly what I am trying to do. So,
Okay. Roll me a check.
mechanics,
Oh yeah.
can
I've set
I upgrade this?
That's not really my
Just-
choice.
I'm asking the peeps, my peeps.
And yeah, that seems like an important thing to upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah,
Me as well.
I
Say
will
it.
use it as story player point. Boom.
For what
Mind
reason?
and type what
Right.
you're doing.
I am going to.
Also, try and type what these story points are for first as well. Like, what you want to do, then the results should follow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Even just upgrade dice or whatever is fine for that part. Like, it's only if you're using it narratively that I want more. Like, I'm spending this to find a spanner, you know.
Right. It's the pool.
Yep, set for me, it's an average check.
Cool. Now we'll click it. I will click it again. Oh my god. That was lag. I'm sorry. Oh my god, that's terrible. The first one was a success and
What was your
Two
pool, sorry? So
advantage.
it was 3 greens
2 yellow and a green.
originally, and then a green as well
Yeah,
as an
yeah.
upgrade. Cool.
Alright,
yeah.
so yeah, the upgrade would have been the second row then. Sorry. But yeah. 3 successes and
So
an
you have a 1 in
advantage.
mechanics, is what you're saying?
Yes.
So the second roll is accurate.
Yeah, that was lag. Sorry about that. It was terrible.
It's okay. So yeah, you recalibrate the fuel intake.
Ah, Nathaniel. Nathaniel.
Yep.
Tap tap. It seems that I have recalibrated the fuel intake. It seemed a little bit clogged. Maybe try that. Try the thing again. Yes.
Okay. I guess I'll head back to the bridge and attempt to take us off again.
Would
Mhm.
you not want to find out? I mean, I know Gibbs AFK, but would you not want to find out about Russell's endeavours? You were saying that you wanted to
Nope,
check
the
that.
professor's told me to take off and has implied things are fine, so I'm going to take off.
Okay.
I'm sure we can like ad lib whatever was done Russell's side as well.
I was just
So
saying because
no one disappeared.
Nathaniel had stated before that he didn't have to go or do anything until people that he's commanded to go and do things get back to him with the stuff that they've done.
That's
Why
that's the
bring it up?
professor pretty much getting back to me saying that I've found something that could have been wrong. I fixed it. Try taking off now.
Yes. Yes.
So. Have you built the difficulty, Ryan?
If you're gonna try and take off, yeah.
I'll.
Who am I? Oh my.
Oh dear.
I'll just use the pipes and say, nope. Still not taking off.
Damn it! Can we at least set sail now?
Sure. Tell me when you've built the pool.
It's built.
Yay! Oh, swearing. Sorry. I apologize.
You're not the first person to swear tonight, so.
I know.
So, talk me through what happens.
The ship leaves the dock and sails.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know what else I can explain other than the ship actually leaves the dock.
No manning of the bow, flowing coat, feather.
No,
in
I'm
the
literally
wind.
just sitting on my pilot bit and sailing is out.
I mostly mean from the professor, who probably would have expected the thing to have taken off.
No, he asked me just to set sail. He wasn't
Yeah, he
expecting
said
it to take
that.
off.
And
Yeah,
I said,
and you
God
don't,
damn it.
and you don't need those engines to work to sail. So,
Hmm.
Well, we're no longer anchored, so.
yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Zia.
You don't hear, but you hear whistling of the wind through the crystals.
Westfully.
Blissfully reverberating.
In the wind.
Shut up! You're embarrassing me.
You go all kind of pink coloured inside.
Actually, I don't know what embarrassment colour is. Let me check the mood ring.
Right. Okay. I mean, I feel like me just rattling about in the engines is just not going to help. I feel like
I've just got this mental image of him creating a xylophone and just like playing the engine like a xylophone.
See, the thing is like, is this injury actually affecting my ability to even give assistance? I'm pretty sure it isn't it? So, like, yeah, me actually doing the mechanics thing right now is pretty, well, it's not helping. Let me actually try and find this.
One of us should probably treat him.
Probably.
My healing is more likely to blow us both up.
Could be interesting. I mean, right, I need to
So
check.
we're just going to end every session by destroying something on the ship, yeah?
I mean, this system seems to lend itself to it, doesn't it?
Is it just a system, though? Well, you're sailing. That's something. So you're sailing out of the city. The dream was to
Right.
fly out, but that's fine.
Would I possibly be able to see? It's just spamming operating though. That it's, but like I would not be able to assist Stephen in the operation. Or Nathaniel, should I say? Sorry.
Well, the thing is, we don't know. We still don't know if there's something wrong or not. So I still think we should wait until people have done a full check of everything.
Yeah, true. Well, there's nothing wrong with fuel intake.
In fact, it's better now.
Yeah, it's nice and clean.
Then you may as well just start mechanicking all the other components, or use perception or whatever.
No. You know what I mean? But no, mechanics covers troubleshooting of mechanical things. Thankfully, because if I had to use perception, I had to actually double check to see if mechanics covered the perception of mechanics. I mean, again, is it not just spamming skill checks for the sake of spamming? I mean, let's do it. I will check the Tesla inhibitors.
What the hell?
Because it's a Tesla-powered engine thing, apparently.
Also,
Like
for
Tesla
clarity
car.
as well, guys, while we're doing this, I also looked up a bunch of forums for the skilled assistants, and it's generally considered that it doesn't matter if you're skilled or unskilled in a specific skill, that the rule is written that the person with the higher characteristic can still assist. I still don't like that, though, for the same reasons I stated originally. I just think that's a really weird thing to be able to do, is that I have absolutely no knowledge in this, but I can somehow make you way better at it.
On the other hand, if one person's better, why don't they just take the check in the first place?
Well, it's not necessarily, it doesn't mean that. It means, like, if you've got a 4 in intellect, right, and your medicine is 1, right, but Vivi has a 3 in medicine, but her intellect is 2. You see? It's for those situations where you want to use,
Yeah.
you know, her medicine skill, but your intelligence rank, and it combines them. And I can understand that because you're both trained in medicine, that by going, no, do this here and do that there and blah blah blah. It's just the complete no knowledge about it part that I'm like, it just seems too pro player. Whereas there's no downside to not knowing something when you try a skill, other than narratively I might throw in a setback. I just feel I would just be throwing in setbacks to having Russell involved in the operation, which kind of feels like it's almost pointless having him lead it. You know? Don't know if that makes sense to the group or not, but yeah. We can add this into the FAQ of how we want to proceed, I guess.
At least have some knowledge in the matter for us to be able to use it.
I think that makes sense, but I don't know, people can vote on it if they really want.
Oh my. Scary. But yeah. I mean, if we're going to just keep on rolling dice to try and figure something out, yeah, I'll do a check on the Tesla inhibitors, or whatever you want to call them.
For what end?
Tesla capacitors.
Can you not just do a general
See if
mechanics
there is-
check for the engine, like rather
Yeah.
than specific components? Wouldn't that be better?
Yeah, I guess I'll do a general mechanics check on the engine to see if it's yeah. Try to think of a fancy word, but just working. See if everything is hunky dory.
Legitimately, the
This
only
is
thing I need you guys to tell me is what you want the outcome of the check to be, and then I ask
To
you how
see
you
if there is anything wrong with the engine.
Now, this should be a point where you and Russell should be able to do it together, unless, like, because I think you both have mechanics.
Yeah, it depends on whether or not if one's got higher
Yeah.
of the other. Maybe if yeah, Russell is probably a bit more specialised in it. Maybe I don't really know. I didn't have the points to spend on it.
Give it a try.
Oh, it comes back. Ah,
What's your stats and characteristics? What's your mechanics and characteristics, or whatever?
1 yellow, 3 greens.
Yeah, right. So you're best just doing it, and I could give you a blue towards it. Because
Are you the
I'm
same
1 yellow,
then?
2 greens. I'm 1 yellow, 2 greens. So like,
Hey,
can
can
I
you
even
do it?
give a blue in that
No.
case? I don't think I can.
Like, you'd be involved in the skill check, and all blues would be removed from the skill check.
Right, okay. Right, yeah, because the injury.
Yep,
Yeah.
the scattered senses.
So Russell is probably best doing the check. Just doing a general engineering mechanics check to see if the actual engine is the problem.
Out of character, it might be worth resolving that injury issue.
Yes.
I mean, maybe not this session, we are getting a bit late in the day, but, you know, if we can engineer circumstances under which it would be plausible for Attanor to attempt to heal, I would be very happy to do that. Just, you know, beware my wisdom is far too low to be doing it.
Keep in mind that literally the professor could walk out, pass Russell, tell Russell to go check the other engine, or whatever, and then just head off, since it is on the cargo floor he's on just now, and could easily just walk into the wrong room by accident.
I'm actually just going to say, like, over the talkie tube, I would just be like,
Just, can you get Russell to check on this engine? I really cannot think straight. This headache is just... I really need to go lie down.
and I would just kind of walk on and hope that...
Anyone with any medical training takes pity on you.
Yeah.
So I guess at that point, anyone that heard that actually cares enough to go fix him, can go fix him.
Yeah. Do you want to resolve that first, or?
Let's go do that.
Cool. Well, Attanor would sort of, you know, maybe like a minute or two later, chap in the frame of the door.
Yes, coming. I'm clothed.
That is pleasant to hear. Your injury is still bothering you, I understand.
Yes, I just can't think straight. It's so inconvenient.
I do not have medical training, but perhaps I could provide some assistance through the... He sort of just goes blank for a second, as if he doesn't know how to express the idea to you. Power of the gods.
The gods?
God, specifically.
Oh, do tell more. How does this work?
With some difficulty.
Does the Elders hold the power of the god?
He just looks sort of askance at you. Of course not. Very few have any real power.
Marvelous. Simply marvelous.
Unusually explained. So, okay, so I will... What am I rolling here?
Well, it's going to be a heal check, right?
I have misplaced my book at present. Is that a basic difficulty?
So it says here, right, so his difficulty for his critical injury is 2 purple, right?
Okay.
So I'll add that in just now. But the default difficulty of the check for your healing, right, is 1.
Okay.
Okay.
This is going to go badly.
So, upon success, the character heals 1 wound per blah blah blah, per success and 1 strain per uncancelled advantage. Okay. You're specifically aiming to try and heal, obviously, his critical injury, because he doesn't really have much in the way of wounds, really. Where are we? When making the check, the character selects 1 target who they're engaged with and who is not incapacitated. And where is the heal additional effects? And you've got so there's heal critical. Select 1 critical injury the target is suffering. If the spell is successful, the critical injury is also healed. So your pool is 3 currently, because it is your healing effect, which is 1, and heal critical is +2, and that
Okay.
I'm going to assume the heal spell would override the fact that a normal heal check takes its difficulty from the critical injury table, since this specifically says heal critical.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's not a 5 formidable check. It is in fact a 3 hard check.
Okay. It's well, this is probably going to go badly.
There's plenty of story
But-
points, you know. Feel free to boost.
That's true. Okay. So before I'll type before I roll. But I am just using the button next to divine. Is that what I'd be rolling?
In
The
between
dice button.
players and GM, just use player story point.
As if you were using the story point.
Yeah. But yeah, it would be the one next to divine.
Okay, so for casting it though, it would be just clicking the dice next to it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So does that work? Click player strike point, just add it onto the roll you're about to do.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it should. It didn't do it with the first roll that I did for some reason.
Always review the dice pool. Obviously, once it's rolled, it's probably the best thing to do because
Yeah.
it probably will be a wee bit jank with roll 20, but we'll make do, you know, in lieu of a table that we all fit at.
Ew.
So
I did say it was risky.
I don't think
Yes.
that's accurate. You used a story point, right? Which is fine.
Yeah.
But did you actually change your dice pool? You have one rank in the skill, right? Which is
Yes.
your divine. And
Should be two
your
yellows.
so it should be 2 yellows and 3 purples.
Right. It's I think the problem here is that I just rolled it with using the button next to the thing. Okay.
So did I though. and
It's
it
'cause-
automatically-
You should
Oh, which
so there's an upgrade and downgrade section at the top of your character sheet.
Okay, so I'm just going to try putting in the numbers manually. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
And
So it should just be 2 yellows basically at that
Yeah,
point.
you only need to put 2 yellows and you don't need to put the purple pull in.
That's me that does that, yeah. So it should be 2 yellow, 3 purple is what should result.
It's probably easier just to do it that way if we're doing the upgrading.
so that's
I like it.
better, right?
I
I feel
like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I suppose it's going to be interesting. How do we work out what the threat would be? Any suggestions of a threat that would be fun?
Usually the one threat just does always really equate to just a strain, doesn't it? Like for most of the time when it's just one strain, one threat.
Not really with magic though.
Oh, okay. Have fun.
Okay, so I suppose he would be healing just by sort of placing... I wouldn't use the sword, although it is an instrument with which I could do it, because that would be a bit... Would I use the sword?
I'll heal you. Stab.
Yeah. I mean, to convey it, no, I think he would just have to use his hands so it didn't feel like he was going to do a murder. I
Maybe like
suppose
have
we-
your hand on your hilt of your sword though, like with a sheath.
Yes,
'cause
yeah, that's
cool.
a good visual. I do like that. So maybe he would encourage the professor to sort of relax, sit forward, and just like place a hand over his head, as the other is gripping the hilt of the sword.
As you want to add in the fact that you'll either be taking 2 strain or 1 wound to do this, Colin. You get to pick which one.
Okay.
The patient or the
I will
wound.
take 1 wound.
Okay, and you can describe, maybe add that into your healing description.
How bad does 1 wound look? Like
What's your health?
someone with. Wait a second, I've forgotten. It is. I've got a 13 threshold,
It
so
looks like 1/13.
so
of
it
you.
doesn't look bad, but maybe sore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
so I'm
maybe your
imagining
god is
as-
actually enacting a price for the I'll fix them at the cost of you. Blood for
maybe
blood.
like after he sort of withdraws his hand from the now less foggy professor, like as he turns away, the camera would see that he's sort of pained looking in his face as if, ow,
Mhm.
I took on a bit of that myself. Maybe it was more of a bit of a trade rather than a straight up healing.
Would I notice you're taking damage?
He would be very deliberate about avoiding you noticing.
Okay.
I
Plus,
hope
you've just
that
come out of
is-
a haze, you know, so you're probably
Yeah.
just more
You
amazed
see-
at the fact that you feel better that an elf touched you.
I would
So
say,
privileged.
with his back still to you, he'd say that I hope that has improved your current state.
I feel like I would just be kind of like blinking a bit, probably rubbing my eyes. Like, that was amazing.
it has had the desired effect. Still to you, yes?
Why, miraculously, yes.
I'm very glad. Perhaps we can do something about getting this ship afloat.
That would be a fantastic idea. Let us get to work, I guess. I do
Yes, sir.
appreciate this. This is fantastic.
Yes.
I always knew you were very useful, not just grumpy.
I try to be as helpful as possible. With that said, if there is anything I can be of assistance in starting doing whatever it is we have to do to make this thing move, I'm happy to be. Then he just nods curtly and walks on out.
Good, I was going to say something sarky. I'll follow. Where'd you go, sorry?
I think Vivi is still standing in the cargo hold, checking things off on her clipboard, and she just looks up at Ludvig and just goes, "Go on. I don't know what you expect me to do. Talk at the engine?"
Sorry, did Ludvig actually leave his lab?
Yeah, I left. I was in my room. Yeah, I'd probably have followed Attanor out. Go get stuff fixed. Now that I'm fixed, it's beautiful.
Okay. Well, we can, I guess, wrap it up there, and we'll attempt to get things fixed for next session. Let's do our wrap-up chat then.
Fantastic.
XP and such. What are people thinking?
Right, well, I mean, the Vivi exploration of the Royal and Fadgel, let's walk through the Discord, I guess. It's probably the best idea. It's not.
Yeah, feel free to start at the top if need be.
Okay. I thought Vivi's explanation was
Oh,
excellent.
could we?
As
Stealing
Nico
my shit.
was just saying, I also really enjoyed when they were telling her to get off the ship as well. I also want to commend Stephen for having to roll that many times to get the ship to leave. Yeah, it was actually a good session all round. There was a lot of little good moments. But just trying to grasp them all right now. I know, like, when I stop talking, I'll be like, oh, I should have said that. But
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
we've got every day
good
here.
session.
Stephen?
The Republic description is the only thing that comes to mind for me.
Okay.
The Republic description, I appreciate Zhia walking me about in a stool for the majority of the session. Really good backup for Vivi against the commander. Appreciated. Got my back. Yeah, and obviously Attanor helped me out. That's muchly appreciated, and it was nice.
Greg?
I really enjoyed Russell's back chat to the military. I thought that was fantastic.
Mm.
Yeah, I forgot about that as well. Yeah, it was good.
But I enjoyed the back chat, I guess, from Vivi in response to it. It's like, we're not royalty. Like the answer to royalty, we're not royalty. I enjoyed that.
I really liked Russell's I'm looking in the lab, but I'm not in the lab.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well.
That was a good grey area. I liked it.
That's me.
I also enjoyed a lot of those things. No, the conversation about the nature of the human sort of society was quite fun. I liked the awkward conversation with Commander, Invisible, at the sort of her departure. That was quite fun. It was very awkward, and the professor's reaction was just weird.
Well, like when she was being dismissed, sorry.
Yes, because she was very formal about it, doing that handshake and everything, and he was just, "Oh yes, yes, we must catch up. Yes, yes, yes." It was just painstakingly cringy. Painstakingly, not what I meant to say. Screw it. Moving swiftly on, it was fun having the ship completely fuck up after we'd been trying to make a sort of swift exit. That was appropriate. And I liked getting to show off a bit of his sort of supernatural power. That was fun. It's like you create a paladin character, you kind of want to do paladin shit, right? So that was, for me, that was awesome. That was getting to flex his muscles a little bit.
Like how overt about your design
Not
abilities?
hugely.
Yeah.
You underplay. I think he'll probably, especially had the military stayed in the ship, he would have downplayed a lot of his actual history and his position as a prince. I think he would have sought to avoid mentioning his mystical powers as well. Or that his sword isn't in any way related to them. I liked the touch you suggested of having him sort of
Hand in
his
the
hand
hilt
to the
thing.
hilt, which
That was
is
good.
sort of partly to make it non-threatening, while also sort of channeling his power better, but also like the idea that he doesn't want to advertise that this is part of how he channels his power, because
Yeah,
that
it's a
would be
subtle
exposing a
approach.
weakness. Yeah. So that was great fun.
Vivi?
So, I really enjoyed Russell because I really got the feeling that he was a teenager.
Yeah, it was great.
I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Russell in general, by the way, just everything Gibbs doing, to be honest.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I really enjoyed the idea of, like, I've just got this mental image of Zhia having been on the ship for a year, and she still doesn't understand exactly why everything happens the way it does.
Well, about 6
But
months for
she-
Zhia, closer to the
Yeah,
6
yeah.
months mark, but yeah.
Yeah, but like she's been there for 6 months. She doesn't know why things work the way they do.
It's been
But
there.
she knows that.
She's
But
not a
she
she.
knows she don't. She oh sorry, they. They know that things need to be in a certain way for things to happen. So when they're going around like, this isn't happening, what do I need to put in it? Like, so I get the mental image of them going around and fixing the taps in a certain way.
I get that, like, taps,
Yeah.
you don't leave these on, you turn them off. This goes over here in this place. And
Yeah.
normally when this happens, this is sat this way. And it's obviously like a paperweight faces a certain way, like an ornament of a creepy owl faces out the way,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of glad I'm pushing that across because that's difficult to convey.
Yeah, as I said, you've got a tough job trying to convey a quieter character, but I mean, I don't know, I think people are getting it so far. As I said, time will tell as we go forward. Hopefully we get, again, describe everything you're doing about I do this, I move my head this way, keep doing that, basically. I like the fact that, like, if we take Claire's kind of view on Zhia's actions, I like the idea of going, well, we've tugged against something, and the thing that goes from the ship to the bed of the ocean that we use every time we land in water, I'll go check that. Yeah, makes sense. Anything else, Claire?
No, that's it.
Good.
Pearls are going last, pretty much everything's been said.
You can still reinforce it, though.
The bit at the start with the Professor and Gunter. Could not remember that name.
Major Elliot.
Forever known as Gunther.
His first name was Lance, if anybody else cares.
Yeah, everything else I'd probably mentioned has been said.
Okay, yeah. We will award, considering we've got Claire's Republic description, we've got Attanor as revealing his divinity to the actual Professor, probably for the first time so overtly. Russell's looking in the lab, Professor's awkward dismissal, or just the Professor in general, really, I would say, throughout the whole session, having to basically be like, I need to act slightly incompetent, because of my injuries. And then Zhia's kind of, let's just do everything that we normally do to get this working, please, and lifting the Professor around. So I've just given you the XP for each of all that. So we're at 5 awarded XP so far.
Yay!
So feel free to mark the unspent XP on your sheets. Indeed. And then I will. Also, what are we calling this?
Failure to launch.
Typical melancholy part.
Not too bad.
It wasn't quite as bad as that.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We're still like, this is point 2.1 right now. Got 2.2 to go.
Any other suggestions for the name?
Try to actually think.
I like failure to launch.
I think failure to launch is brilliant.
Yeah.
Failure to launch.
I just wanted to say it when we were going through the list. I'm like, oh, hold back, just scream it as soon as they ask.
Yeah. Failure to launch. I'm happy with that. Fuser?
Mm.
Sounds good to me. Anything else that people want to add?
No, I think that's it.
I
Okay.
hate you all, and good night.
Goodbye, everybody on the recording.
Yeah.
Bye.